One of these guys got a Hall of Fame ring delivered to his hospital bed. Another one needed a new heart on Christmas Eve. And one of them was so dominant, the league literally changed the rules just to stop him. And they still won't put him in the Hall of Fame. The Raiders weren't a football team. They were a warning. Al Davis didn't recruit players. He collected weapons. Guys other franchises were too scared to sign. Guys with rap sheets and attitudes and talent that scared defensive coordinators awake at night. 2 Super Bowls in 4 years. The commitment to excellence wasn't a slogan, it was a threat. Silver and black wasn't a color scheme, it was war paint. Lyle Alzado told the truth on the cover of Sports Illustrated. 10 months later, he was dead. 2-time Pro Bowl, 3-time All-Pro, Super Bowl 18 champion, 112 career sacks. The defensive end who played football like every snap was a personal vendetta. Yankton College, NAIA school in South Dakota. Nobody thought a kid from a program that small would make it. The Broncos took a chance on him in 1971. 4th-round pick. He made them regret waiting that long. Denver, Cleveland. Then Al Davis called. 1982. The LA Raiders needed an edge rusher with something to prove. Alzado had plenty to prove. Comeback Player of the Year that season. Super Bowl 18 champion. 6'3", 255 pounds, number 77. The kind of player who scared quarterbacks in film sessions before the game even started. He did some acting. Ernest Goes to Camp. Destroyer. The intimidating presence translated on screen, but that was just a footnote. July 8, 1991, Sports Illustrated cover. 2 words, I lied. Alzado sat down and confessed everything. More than 20 years of steroid use. Started in 1969. Never stopped. I lied. I lied to you. I lied to my family. I lied to a lot of people for a lot of years when I said I didn't use steroids. Brain lymphoma. Rare cancer. Alzado believed the steroids caused it. Doctors never confirmed it. Didn't matter. He believed it. I'm sick and I'm scared. The meanest man on the field admitted he was terrified. The confession that should have changed everything. May 14, 1992. Lyle Alzado died. He was 43 years old, 10 months after the cover story. The man who terrorized offenses for 15 seasons couldn't scare cancer away. You know what? The doctors never proved the steroids killed him. Alzado died believing they did. That's the only truth that mattered. The Raider who finally told the truth didn't live long enough to see if it changed anything. Matt Millen needed a new heart on Christmas Eve, and somehow that wasn't even the worst thing to happen to him that decade. 4 Super Bowl rings, 3 different teams, the only player in history to pull that off. The linebacker who collected championships like other people collect stamps. The playing career was the easy part. Detroit Lions, general manager, 2001 to 2008, 31 wins, 84 losses. The first team to go 0-16 in NFL history. Millen's name became a punchline in Michigan. Signs at games, death threats, the failure that follows you forever. He went back to broadcasting, CBS, Fox, NFL Network, pretending the Detroit years never happened while everyone remembered exactly what happened. 2018, the diagnosis came. Amyloidosis, a rare disease that destroys your organs from the inside. His heart was failing. December 24th, 2018, Christmas Eve. A donor heart became available. Millen got the call. The surgery happened. It worked. He woke up on Christmas Day with someone else's heart beating in his chest. Today, at 67, Matt Millen lives in Pennsylvania, married, 4 kids, 10 grandchildren. Still doing occasional media work. Still carrying the weight of 0-16 everywhere he goes. The 4-time champion survived Detroit and the operating table. The jury's still out on which was harder. Todd Christensen went in for routine surgery and never woke up. 5-time Pro Bowl. The tight end who rewrote record books. The pass catcher who quoted poetry in interviews and used SAT words when grunts would have worked fine. The Raiders didn't draft a football player. They drafted an English major. Christensen came from BYU with a vocabulary that confused reporters and a work ethic that confused coaches. He wasn't supposed to be great. Tight ends from small programs don't become stars. He became one anyway. After football, the mind stayed sharp. NBC hired him. ESPN hired him. He co-hosted American Gladiators during the spandex era, somehow maintained his dignity. November 2013, liver transplant surgery. Complications nobody saw coming. He was 57, married, kids. A whole second act still left to write. The funeral was in Alpine, Utah. Former teammates flew in from across the country. They told stories about the tight end who made them feel dumb in the best possible way. The poet who caught everything ran out of time to catch his breath. Drop a comment. Which Raiders running back had the nastiest stiff arm? Marcus Allen's most famous run wasn't the 74-yard Super Bowl touchdown. It was running from the shadow of his former best friend's murder trial. Super Bowl 18 MVP. Over 12,000 career rushing yards.
144 rushing touchdowns. 6-time Pro Bowl.
Hall of Fame. The running back who made defenders look foolish on national television. The stats only tell half the story. Allen and O.J. Simpson were close. Best man at the wedding close. Godfather to the kids close. The bond that looks great in photos until everything goes wrong. 1994, the White Bronco, the trial of the century. Every tabloid in America trying to figure out what Marcus Allen knew and when he knew it. There were rumors about Nicole. Allen denied them. The friendship ended anyway. The association stuck like a stain. Here's the thing about Marcus Allen. He survived it. The whispers, the sideways glances, the interviewers who wanted to talk about anything except football. He kept showing up. Raiders events, charity functions, acting like a man with nothing to hide because he had nothing to hide. Today, at 65, Marcus Allen lives in Los Angeles, still connected to the Raiders organization, still showing up when they need a legend to shake hands and sign autographs. The Super Bowl MVP walked out of someone else's nightmare without a scratch. Van McElroy went from picking off quarterbacks to negotiating their contracts. 22 career interceptions, 2-time Pro Bowl, Super Bowl 18 champion, the safety who read offensive formations like other people read newspapers. The transition was seamless. McElroy didn't struggle with retirement, didn't blow through his money, didn't make headlines for the wrong reasons. He just pivoted. Sports agency, contract negotiations. The same mind that diagnosed plays before they happened started diagnosing contract language before it became a problem. He represented players, helped them avoid the mistakes he'd watched teammates make, turned instincts that worked on the field into instincts that worked in conference rooms. The family stayed in Texas. His son VJ played defensive back at Baylor. The football genes passed down. The business sense might have too. McElroy doesn't do interviews, doesn't chase nostalgia, doesn't show up at every Raiders reunion looking for validation. Today, at 66, Van McElroy lives in Texas, running his business, watching his grandkids, and staying out of the spotlight he never needed in the first place. Quiet money moves louder than loud mouths. Bo Jackson just revealed he's been fighting a battle fans never knew about, and he already won. The only athlete selected to both the Pro Bowl and the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. 1985, Heisman Trophy. First team All-Pro in 1990. The superhero who made the impossible look routine. January 1991. Hip injury in a playoff game against Cincinnati. The hit that changed everything. The football career ended, but Bo wasn't done. He came back to baseball after a hip replacement, hit a home run in his first at-bat with the White Sox, because of course he did. You know what? The injury that should have destroyed him became a footnote. February 2026, Bo made an announcement: prostate cancer. He'd already beaten it. The surgery was done. The cancer was gone. He'd been fighting privately while the rest of us assumed he was just enjoying retirement. Bo bikes Bama, his charity, hundreds of miles on a bicycle, raising money for tornado relief across Alabama. The body that Nike built commercials around still works well enough to pedal through small towns, helping strangers. Today, at 63, Bo Jackson lives in suburban Chicago, White Sox ambassador, Occasional celebrity appearance, full-time legend. Bo knows cancer, knew it, past tense. Greg Townsend racked up 109.5 sacks, and then wrote a book about it like he was keeping receipts. Two-time Pro Bowl, the pass rusher who made Sunday afternoons miserable for every quarterback in the AFC West. The retirement was quiet, the memoir wasn't. All Time came out in 2012. Townsend put everything in there. The stories, the feuds, the behind-the-scenes drama that never made the papers, the tell-all that makes former teammates nervous. The family business expanded. Greg Townsend Jr. went to USC, followed his father's footsteps all the way to the NFL. The Raiders signed him because some things are genetic. Townsend stayed in the Bay Area, stayed connected to the team, stayed involved in ways that don't make headlines but keep the legacy alive. No scandals, no bankruptcies, no desperate attempts to recapture glory. Today at 64, Greg Townsend lives in Northern California, watching his son try to build a career in the same league he dominated. 109.5 sacks, and he's still counting. His kids now. What's the most Raiders thing you ever saw on a football field? Drop it in the comments. Mike Haynes traded shutting down receivers for closing deals in corporate boardrooms. 9-time Pro Bowl, 1976 Defensive Rookie of the Year, 97-yard interception return that still stands as a Raiders record. 46 career picks, Hall of Fame 1997, NFL 100 all-time team, the lockdown corner who made wide receivers invisible. The transition was smooth. Haynes didn't chase coaching jobs or broadcasting gigs. He went corporate. Callaway Golf, senior executive. The corner who studied receivers' routes started studying market trends and quarterly reports. The preparation that made him elite on Sundays made him valuable in boardrooms. He climbed the ladder, quietly, professionally, the same way he played. No flash, no drama, just results. San Diego became home. The weather stays nice. The golf courses stay pristine. The life stays comfortable. Haynes shows up at Raiders events occasionally, the Hall of Fame ceremonies, the reunion weekends. He looks like a guy who made good decisions and never looked back. Today, at 72, Mike Haynes lives in Southern California with his wife. The corner who erased receivers now golfs where they can't find him. Cliff Branch died 3 years before the Hall of Fame finally called his name. 501 receptions, 8,685 yards, 67 touchdowns, 3 Super Bowl rings. Led the league in receiving yards in 1974. Led the league in receiving touchdowns that same year. The deep threat who terrified defensive coordinators before the ball was even snapped. You know what? The numbers don't capture it. 99-yard touchdown catch from Jim Plunkett, tied for the longest in NFL history. Branch held playoff records that Jerry Rice eventually broke. The fastest Raider in an era of fast Raiders. The Hall of Fame kept passing him over, year after year. The senior committee would meet. The vote would happen. Branch wouldn't get in. He watched teammates get inducted. He watched receivers with worse numbers get the call. He kept waiting. August 2019, Bullhead City, Arizona. Cliff Branch died. He was 71. Still not a Hall of Famer. 2022, 3 years after his death, the call finally came. Posthumous induction. His family accepted the honor. His bust went to Canton. The wait was over. He just wasn't alive to see it. The fastest Raider ran out of time before Canton ran out of excuses. Guatemala gave Ted Hendricks their highest civilian honor, the same award they give presidents. 8-time Pro Bowl, 4 Super Bowl rings with 3 different teams, 25 career blocked kicks, NFL record, 4 safeties, tied for the record. 6'7" Guatemalan, the Mad Stork, the linebacker who looked like he wandered in from a different sport and decided to dominate anyway. The Hall of Fame came in 1990. The accolades kept coming after. Here's the thing about Ted Hendricks. He wasn't just a Raider. He was born in Guatemala City, raised there until his family moved to Miami. The first great NFL player from Central America. The country noticed. Order of the Quetzal, Guatemala's highest civilian honor. They gave it to a linebacker. The same award they give to presidents and diplomats and artists. Hendricks has one. The Ted Hendricks Award goes to college football's best defensive end every year. His name on a trophy, his legacy in bronze. Today at 78, Ted Hendricks lives in Florida. Still 6'7", still the mad stork, still getting recognized in Guatemala more often than you'd expect. National treasure, just not for the nation you'd guess. If you've made it this far, you're real Raider Nation. Hit subscribe. We've got 2 more legends, and you don't want to miss how this ends. Lester Hayes was so dominant, the league literally changed the rules because of him. And they still won't put him in the Hall. 13 interceptions in 1980, led the league. Defensive Player of the Year, 5-time Pro Bowl, 2 championship rings. The cornerback who made catching passes in his zip code a criminal act. The secret was stickum, that gooey substance he slathered on his hands and arms, made the ball stick like Velcro, made receivers furious, made the competition committee call emergency meetings. 1981, the NFL banned stickum because of Lester Hayes. One player so dominant they had to change the rulebook. The Hall of Fame keeps overlooking him, year after year. Senior nominee again, maybe this time, maybe not. Hayes lives in Modesto, California now. 71 years old, watching the debates about his candidacy, watching corners with half his impact get inducted, waiting. Today at 71, Lester Hayes still hasn't gotten the call from Canton. They banned his hands, but won't bronze them. Jim Plunkett can barely walk, and he's still showing up for the team that saved his career. First Hispanic Heisman winner, 1970, Stanford. First overall pick in 1971, Super Bowl 15 MVP, 2 championship rings. The quarterback who got written off by 2 franchises before silencing everyone. The Patriots gave up on him. The 49ers gave up on him. The Raiders saw something nobody else did. He led a wild card team to a championship. Then did it again 3 years later. The comeback story that shouldn't have been possible. The body paid the price. 15 surgeries. Both knees replaced. The mechanics of walking became a challenge. The legs that scrambled away from pass rushers in the 80s barely carry him now. He keeps showing up anyway. The Silver and Black Show, co-host. 78 years old with 2 artificial knees. Talking Raiders football like the pain doesn't exist. Vista Center for the Blind, his charity work. Plunkett's parents were both blind. He gives back to a community that shaped who he became. Atherton, California, his wife Jerry. A quiet life built on top of a career that almost never happened. Today at 78, Jim Plunkett still shows up, still wears the silver and black, still represents a franchise that believed in him when nobody else did. 2 bad knees and he still stands for the Raiders. That's not loyalty, that's religion. We started with a guy who went on television and admitted the steroids were killing him. We ended with a 78-year-old who can barely walk, still showing up for his team. That's the Raiders. Some of them became ghost stories. Some of them changed the rules. Some of them died waiting for recognition. The silver and black fades eventually. The commitment to excellence doesn't. If this hit different, subscribe. We do this every week. And drop a comment. Which Raider surprised you most? Just win, baby. Al Davis said it first. These guys lived it.